Hey, this is Notser. We're doing the user replay of the week. WaldoW is in the Tier 8 Japanese destroyer, Fubuki. If you are interested in submitting a replay, please submit it to notserreplay@gmail.com. Please include the replay file, in-score screenshots, 1 to 2 sentence summary. Please also include the ship name in the title of the email. That really helps out. If you cannot produce an amazing game, maybe an amazing moment, do the exact same things. However, include a timestamp, and that will really help out my process of recording all of this data. 0.5.5 is definitely coming very soon, a couple days. The installation is going to be completely different. I will assume that replays will no longer function for anything before 0.5.5. I'm going to keep an old version just so I can have all of these replays and share them with you in the future. Hopefully I can make that compilation of all the amazing moments and have it entertaining. Thank you everyone for submitting replays. If you weren't selected this week, maybe next week. So, where is WaldoW? You knew that was coming. Where is WaldoW on the map? He's near A. He has sent torpedoes against the enemy Aoba, which is the Tier 6 Japanese cruiser. So he's got 2 tiers up on this guy. Let's see how well he does, and the Aoba seems to not have any idea of what is coming, and these torpedoes appear to be a little slow. However, the last set was led just right, and oh my, he's able to devastate that Aoba in 2 torpedoes. He takes them out, and that Aoba just didn't have a chance to react. WaldoW is near A, however, he's all by himself. Most of his team, 99% of his team, have headed out east, and they're engaged in mortal combat with the enemy. But WaldoW, he's pretty cool. He's got the round rim glasses, he's got the red and white striped shirt, he's got the blue pants, he's got the beanie on. He's ready to go after this Aoba. His torpedoes are about to come up, and the Aoba, even though the Aoba clearly saw that his teammate died, he should realize, okay, there's a destroyer. I need to be unpredictable. Well, he's headed south. I think he wants to try and harass the friendly battleship, and WaldoW is in the perfect flanking position to take advantage of this progress by the enemy. He rotates around, of course, and he decides, okay, he's committed, he's going south. He sends it all pretty much at the indicator, and we'll see how the Aoba reacts. Now, this Aoba is teamed up with the Aoba that was killed not 2 minutes ago. So, you can bet there's been communication between one another. Hey, I died to torpedoes, and WaldoW's the guy that did it, and he probably said, "Where's WaldoW?" Just to say it, of course. But it is important that you have an idea of what side of the map a destroyer might be on. And his teammate probably said, hey, I was just moving south, and I took torpedoes that appear to also come from the south side of my ship. He could be anywhere. He could be on the east or the west, and he finds out real quick where he is, and he gets him just barely alive. Friendly is able to finish off the target. There was less than 500 health on that target. If he hadn't had damage control, he would have died to the flood. So far, he's 4 for 4 on the torpedoes causing a flood. That's pretty good odds. Sometimes you'll have the worst luck. You need a flood in order to take the... Oh, crap! Hatsuharu! WaldoW, of course, is rotating his guns. His back are out of position. His front is in position. However, a super slow rate of fire. And don't be afraid to use your guns in your Japanese. And WaldoW ultimately ends up deciding, okay, I'm just going to rotate and have the guns facing port. Bring that to bear. Another key bit of information that you might not gather is he was going in and out of detection whenever the Hatsuharu was inside the smoke. That tells you there's no other target within 10, 12 kilometers that could be detecting. He can safely assume he's isolated with the Hatsuharu. He's not going to get assistance from any other destroyer. And that's a key bit of information that situation awareness just tells you for free. Now, you have to understand what the information is being given to you, but that just changes the way you play the game. He can safely use his guns. He doesn't have to hide. There's nothing that can shoot him other than a Japanese destroyer, 1 tier lower. And he's able to avoid the torpedoes, which, honestly, you should always expect torpedoes from an enemy destroyer, and he takes them out. Nice. 3 ships on the western side of the map, and he basically killed all three. He just barely missed out on that third kill with the Aoba. So, of course, WaldoW is going to capture A. It appears that the enemy team are dominant on the eastern side of the map. Every single ship that the team has lost pretty much came right in front of C. They sail right in front. Please shoot me. That's just not what you want to do, of course. Now, a enemy destroyer, a very, very low enemy destroyer, is scouted by B. It appears that WaldoW would like to get in front of him and sandwich him in between himself and the friendly destroyer. The friendly destroyer is also a Fubuki, and I believe the low health enemy destroyer was a Mutsuki, which of course is the tier 6 Japanese destroyer. This is what I'm talking about. There are so many destroyers. Another destroyer, this one completely separate from the enemy found out by B. It's another enemy Fubuki, but this is what I'm talking about. Next patch, you better buckle up. There's going to be a lot of US and Soviet destroyers. The most annoying aspect of Soviet destroyers as you're leveling up, the gun turrets break so much. That's going to be gone, or nearly gone. Tripling the health pool, that's a huge change. So you're going to see a lot of guns, destroyers. You got to be careful. And honestly, I think US destroyers, with the torpedo systems they have, especially the gearing and the Fletcher, they're pretty much just as good as the Japanese torpedo systems. And they have guns where they can comfortably fight in a brawl scenario. So they're going to be very scary. You're going to see a lot of US destroyers. In this game alone, I think there are 6 Japanese destroyers still alive in this match, with 2 US destroyers, I think. Not 100%, but yeah, the overabundance of Japanese destroyers will die down. Now, they're not getting massive nerfs. Their competition will just be that scary. I really do think, honestly, it might be too much of a buff. Oh, nice. WaldoW hit that shot on the stationary target who was trying to hide. He got in position. Now, of course, he's detected, so he's got to go for broke and try and work on the enemy Fubuki. The enemy Fubuki is very healthy, just like WaldoW. One issue, there's an enemy battleship. Yes, a battleship at B fighting off the friendly destroyer, and he just took him out in close proximity. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the destroyer let out his torpedoes too soon, but that was a mistake. You have the ability to take out the target in close proximity. You need to guarantee that attack. If you have to hold it a little bit longer, you hold it a little bit longer. It's very embarrassing to die to a battleship in close, and I mean really close. We're talking 2-kilometer range. That's just, it shouldn't happen that way. You just hold on a little bit longer. You will take damage, but in the end, you'll take out a huge asset to the enemy team. The Tirpitz is, of course, capturing B, which is good for the enemy team, not for WaldoW. It's a 2-2 split. Nobody's really gaining an advantage. The ships are nearly identical. They have 1 more death than WaldoW's team. But WaldoW, both the destroyer captain and the silly-looking character, are crafty and sneaky, and they're just trying to set up an attack. And he's, of course, trying to set up an attack on this enemy battleship, who appears to be going east to west to attack WaldoW's battleship. Well, that's okay. He's got perfect position to exploit this. Now, you notice how WaldoW is attacking. 2 are leading the indicator, 1 at the indicator. I believe that WaldoW felt like he's just coming out of a turn. He's going to head straight. He's going to gain speed, so the indicator will be moving faster than the predicted indication when the torpedoes were sent. He's trying to predict the speed gain. And he hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 torpedoes. Devastating strike. High caliber. Good job, WaldoW. And that was a textbook example. Oh, whoa. Whoa, he had a Hatsuharu too? I think this was... Why are there so many Japanese destroyers? Why? Why are there so many? The US destroyers are so good. I just don't understand this. And their torpedo systems are just as fun. Well, this guy has a huge disadvantage, both in tier and in health pool, and WaldoW is going to take him out, and there he goes. Kraken Unleashed. He got a Kraken Unleashed in about 12 minutes. That's pretty good. And the enemy Hatsuharu tries unsuccessful with his torpedoes. WaldoW's just made this look so easy. I don't think he's missed a single attack with his torpedoes. Every single salvo has netted him at least 2 torpedoes on the enemy, which is just insane. Oh, maybe, no. He sent one set against the destroyer, and it didn't hit him, but he basically, that was a bonus, right? That's a bonus. Cruisers and the battleships are really where you can't afford to miss your torpedoes. I'd say it's okay to miss a torpedo or 2 against the destroyer. They're really hard to hit. A lot of times, they don't expect a torpedo's coming, and they'll run right into a torpedo. Oh, don't pull a Notser now. Don't run into this island. He slows way down. He might have the de-acceleration module, the one that increases the acceleration by 20%. It also, apparently, applies to de-acceleration, which is great. But his reaction was perfect. They captured B. They have a 3-to-1 advantage over the enemy. They only have 1 ship advantage. And they might actually lose that advantage. There's a destroyer, an enemy destroyer, very close to a friendly battleship in the northeast side of the map. There's a Colorado. Poor Colorado. He's probably been like, Waldo! Quit killing people. Okay, there's an enemy destroyer capturing A. And how do you know it's a destroyer? Well, we see a battleship. We see an enemy destroyer. The only ship we don't see, and wow, 2 ships die almost immediately. And WaldoW's team still has an advantage. The only ship you don't see was a destroyer, so it must be a destroyer at A. Now WaldoW can decide how to attack this. Is he going to go the northern side? Is he going to go the southern side? Was there any tell that was on the minimap? I don't believe so. If he could be in direct communication with the Colorado, he could ask him, hey, do you have situation awareness? Did you ever get the indicator displaying? If it was displaying, then that tells me the enemy destroyer was attacking from the south side. And I've had a lot of people say, why do you have situation awareness on your battleship? Instances just like this, it's very, very, very critical that you get as much information as you possibly can. There's very few ships that could oh nice, he's right in front of him. He's got basically the same amount of health. It's very important that you have this information. Since the Colorado probably wasn't detected, that would tell me the Fubuki is coming north to south, because most of the time, whenever you capture A, you just continue on and you come around. That's the quickest way. You're not going to double back on yourself, unless of course you expect someone knows where you are. And WaldoW, he's got a good shot. He's taking a little bit of damage, but he's got an advantage. He's already knocked out the propulsion. The enemy destroyer clearly has last stand, or he would have dropped his speed much quicker. But it still inhibits your ability to engage. Now, WaldoW lost his propulsion and he used his damage control on it. Of course, he loses it again, but he's not dropping like a stone. He clearly has last stand. That will work to his favor as well. He can still wiggle his ship back and forth to bring the guns to bear. One more shot will take out the enemy destroyer. And he had plenty of health. His torpedoes, of course, didn't work out, but that's okay. Now, the rest of this game is pretty slow. WaldoW is going to head for A. He's going to attempt to capture, and of course, he's going to capture. The last time we saw an enemy destroyer, he was in the eastern side of the map. He just captured D, I believe. So it's a 2-2 advantage to WaldoW's team. All they have to do is wait out the enemy team, and that's exactly what happens in the game. Alright, WaldoW, let's just see the stats. Yes. Confederate, First Blood, Kraken Unleashed, 2 devastating strikes, high caliber, 10 torpedo strikes, 6 kills, 130,000 points of damage, over 580,000 credits earned. And look at the XP earned. He did an amazing job. He captured 3 bases. Wow, look at the base XP. 4. That's a 4,269 base XP. Just an awesome game. A great example for any aspiring destroyer captain. Watch it. Learn from it. This is exactly what you target when you're a destroyer. you play for the objective. You play for your team. You also take out targets who tend to straggle in, and you have to land your torpedoes. You have to predict your guns. You have to use the whole package, and if you do, there's really nothing that can touch a destroyer right now. So 130,000, almost 100,000 of that is from torpedoes, but he did 30,000 from his guns alone, Japanese destroyer guns. That's why you need to use the whole package available to you, and Waldo did it to perfection in this game. I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you, Waldo, for sharing it. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.